Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Youth and Education Committee. Our chair will be here momentarily.
I hope everybody's well. We're gonna be starting at around 7 o'clock.
Yeah. They had a.
Chair, you said we starting at 7?
For some reason, the time got switched. I thought it was 6:30, but I got
It
a
is
7
6:30.
o'clock. I got a 7 o'clock, when they send me the committee and meets the second Thursdays at 7 p.m. So we'll fix it for this upcoming month now. We're 6:30, not 7. But we'll fix it. I'll talk to the office about it. Hey Patrick, how's it going? Did Parks want to be added to the agenda? There, Patrick?
Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
Sorry about
Yeah.
that. I was muted. Yes, good day. Yeah, sorry, my camera's a little off. I'm literally just coming home from work. But yes, you guys can add me in.
Okay, cool. Is there any particular topic you're gonna address today?
Hello?
Yeah, is there any topic that's gonna be addressed today? You hear me, Patrick?
So I can barely hear you.
Is there any topic that's gonna be addressed today by Parks?
Oh, well, I know last time I had this meeting, I just wanted to really offer just the services that I have at Highbridge Recreation Center on 174th Street and then,
Okay,
yeah.
They have been here.
All right, yeah, welcome, everybody. It's our first meeting back from the summer break. Well, we talk after.
Yeah.
That's it. It's our first meeting back after the summer break. I hope everybody had a restful summer, enjoyed their summer. And really took out time for their mental, chill with the fam and enjoy themselves. But we're back to business. So yeah. Tanisha, you want to add anything before I move on to the approval of the agenda? Going once. Where's Tanisha? She here?
I'm right here.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
hey, everybody. Welcome back. I'm your Vice Chair, Tanisha Grant, second term on the community board, and yeah, it's good to be back.
Perfect. Oh, and good news, T. So I heard that there was another Nest program added in District 6 to PS5. So PS5 got the Nest and Horizon programs are programs that we advocated last year for. So it's basically to bring in more resources for students with special needs. And yeah, so we got
Autism. It's specifically for children with
the
autism.
autism. Yeah. And we advocated for that last year because we saw the number of how our community was amongst one of the communities with the least amount of programs, and the CDC and a lot of people who do health investigations are saying that children with needs are in the increase. So that's something that we advocated for, and we got one, but we need to push for more. You know, so that's an update I wanted to provide before I moved on. So we're moving on to the approval of the agenda. So far, we're gonna table our elected official updates. There's no elected officials unless I'm mistaken. Is anybody present reporting for an elected official? No. So we're gonna table that to next month. On community connections, we have Patrick to speak about the 175th Rec Center and the services they provide. And we have a representative of Youth Fields with Volunteer of America for the Greater New York. Old business, we have to add budget. We could put it on committee business. On committee business, we have to talk about budget rankings. That's due in October. So just putting it out there. I'll be sending out some emails regarding what we did last year, what we ranked last year. The advice that I got was to focus on one item because it's stronger than adding multiple items. And then we advocate through resolutions on anything, any sort of funding we're looking for. So what I'm gonna recommend is the biggest amount of capital projects are maintained within the school construction authority when elected officials or any city agency provides funding for schools. It's then sent out to the SEA, and then SEA, which is the school construction authority, starts the process of these projects. What I'm proposing is that we rank for a capital project the creation of a tracker for the school construction authority. And part of that is also us knowing that once that tracker is initiated, there has to be a point person identified and shared with the public to know who is doing the proper follow-up, because it's unacceptable that all this money is provided to these schools and it takes 20 years to build a STEM lab when the funding was done 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that I feel we could advocate that would provide the most immediate impact at that level, since we're talking of millions of dollars in funding. You know, so that's just something to keep in the back of your minds. So for the new members, the budget rankings are ranking that we sent out to the borough president where the priorities for for our community board is identified. Budget priority, so every time, let's say, our budget priority is identified, there's a number allotted to it, and we're able to track if it got funded or not. You know, so this is a very important process. While having 100 things is important because our communities do have a lot of need, usually focusing on one thing and just being very on top of it is usually the best way of getting it done. Or because nothing gets numbers, they don't fund anything once they see is a lot of different problems. So that's just something to keep in mind for next month. So you have the capital projects, and then you have projects that are more like under $500,000. So, which is more like, like we want more some sort of programming, we want welcome center, or we want anything that's under and doesn't require construction. It's capital, and then I forgot the name for that, but next month we'll be able to share it. All right, so we have quorum, so those are the modifications to the agenda. Could I get a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion.
A second?
Second.
Okay. Anybody opposed? Abstentions? Thank you very much. So we just approved our agenda, D. Okay, so since you've been waiting, and I apologize, what's your name?
Anise.
Anise, Domingo, pleasure. So Anise is here, going to talk about a program called Youth Build, and she represents an organization called Volunteers of America, Greater New York. Yeah, you could do, it's gonna get you as soon as you start speaking.
Okay, well, hello, good afternoon, well, good evening, everyone. My name is Anise Alves, and I'm the director for Youth Build at Volunteers of America, Greater New York. Youth Build is a Department of Labor funded pre-apprenticeship program that supports young adults between the ages of 17 and 24, not only with construction training, but also with their academics. So we partnered with Pathways to Graduation, District 79, to open up a new satellite site right around the corner, at 3934 Broadway. And so it's a GED program that supports young people between the ages of 17 and a half and 21. So our program's catchment includes 10032, which is the zip code, being that our program office is on Broadway between 165th and 166. And it also includes a few other zip codes within the Bronx. The construction certifications that we offer are OSHA 30, 10-hour site safety, and the National Center for Construction Education and Research, the NCCER core. Those certifications not only support young people in learning how to be safe on a construction site, but also learning how to do construction. It also includes a 200-hour paid internship in which young people can apply their learned skills, renovating affordable housing, and especially Tier 2 family shelters that are owned and managed by Volunteers of America, Greater New York. The building in which we're housed around the corner is actually owned by Volunteers of America. And half of the building is actually an SRO, supportive housing, for individuals in need. It also includes case management, and they still have a few units available. They have about 140 units in total. And if you're not familiar, Volunteers of America owns the building that also includes the pizza shop and Fort Washington restaurant right there on that corner.
Oh, you're talking about right here?
Yes,
Right
right
there,
there, right
yeah.
there. So, I really look forward to partnering with CB12. We do a lot of advocacy. Just in March, myself and our young people went up to Albany to advocate for increased funding for the program and to put Washington Heights as well on the map. And so we're really hoping to partner a bit more closely with you all. I left some flyers in the back. I really wanted to attend Youth and Ed because we're a youth program, we serve the youth, and we also have the GED program at our program site.
Quick question, do you guys service 140, the zip code 142?
No, however, 20% of the young people we enroll can come from zip codes outside of our catchment. So
Okay,
we can still enroll those young people.
because there's a high school there that I could connect you with some of the
That
principals.
would be
Yeah,
perfect. Right now,
so
we
I
partner
would
with.
need your information, so like that.
Absolutely. Right now, we partner with Luperon. We
Mhm.
have a school foods relationship with them. And so we receive food for our program from there, and some of the other neighboring high schools in the
Okay.
area.
I
That'll be
have
great.
a
Yeah.
question. As a pre-apprenticeship program, do you have a process of direct entry to the trade?
So this is actually my second youth build program. I ran one previously in Brooklyn through St. Nick's Alliance for 2.5 years.
Okay.
And so the model is developed so that we do partner directly with apprenticeships. And so we have a few partnerships with unions like Local 79, DC 9, etc. We are now like maximizing those relationships right now, being that our program is fairly new. We were awarded in June 2024 and started programming this January. But we're now approaching our third cohort. And so I also came to mention that we are actively recruiting young people for our third and fourth cohorts. And we're hoping to enroll at least 33. But yes, to answer your question, if it did.
It's only those two or?
No, many others. We have an employment specialist on staff.
Uh-huh.
That person's the key task of that person's role is to develop partnerships with employers in addition to unions so that we can create a pipeline into those union apprenticeships.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Any more questions?
Thank you all. Thank you to the chair and vice chair as well.
Thank you.
I'll just, before you leave, so I can get your info and I'll connect you with some of these, cause right now, and we speak about this all the time, like, pursuing educational careers is not something that most youth are really into, so being able to provide alternatives and pathways for them to still be able to make a living is something that we always
Absolutely.
try to do, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
All right, so next up, we got Patrick Foreman from Parks. You there, Patrick?
Yes. Yes. Hello. Hi. I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yes. Yes. Good
You
evening.
hear us?
Yes. 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 Good evening. Sorry again. I'm literally just walking out. So again, my name is Patrick Foreman. I'm with the New York City Parks Department. I was on this meeting, I believe, early in the summer. Again, I'm on 174th in Amsterdam. We work with youth, both adult and youth ages 6 to 24 primarily, because that especially is the target range we look for. Granted, ages 6 to 24 is actually free to join the New York City Parks Department. And that's all 5 boroughs from the Bronx, zigzagging down to Staten Island. All 5. So that's the sweet part. Also with adults, of course, 25 and up, we would charge, they have their own charges and so forth. But primarily, yes, I focus with youth from 3 to 6. What I offer is multi-million-dollar skill sets as far as audio recording, audio engineering, videography, photography, lighting, voiceovers, people who may have singing, rapping abilities. We have a studio for them, state-of-the-art sound whisper room that's located also in Highbridge. We have, of course, the gym. They have, of course, their fitness centers. We have an outdoor pool, which was also famous in the movie In the Heights. So if you haven't seen that, yes, that's the pool I work at. And primarily, yes, I am thankful to be a part of this. Granted, I do want to give the word out, and hopefully, yes, I can at least get some emails, and I will forward you guys something a bit more formal. But yes, originally I sent an email with my schedules, the workshops that I offer, and last thing, we also have a sweet perk, a partnership with NBC Universal. And for the last 2 years, we have been receiving free movie screenings for 8 family films, a total of 8. Kung Fu Panda, Trolls, the How to Train Your Dragon, you name it. People come, free popcorn, the kids get swag bags, t-shirts, the whole night. I have hundreds of pictures. So again, I just wanted to at least, use this wonderful opportunity to create some type of bridge for us. So yes, I highly encourage all youth, especially ages 6 to 24. They are more than welcome to join me especially, yes, I believe the woman mentioned about GED courses, which is also sweet. So yes, I highly encourage all youth ages 6 to 24 to please, definitely, yes, we can speak. We can maybe have more of a formal meeting. Again, I'm off the clock. I apologize, but again, yes, I would love to have more of
Thank you.
I would love to have more of a formal meeting, yes, to give you guys more of a formal tour, or maybe we can link up. I can give you my manager's email. We can have some kind of setup where at least we can bridge this gap, which is so needed.
Yeah, I had a great conversation with Jana yesterday, because she invited me to a park tour that she's doing with the DA's office. So we spoke a lot. Jana is the supervisor for all of Northern Manhattan Parks. So I look forward to, because one of the asks was just making sure that, we have so much resources. The question is, who are we reaching out to? What type of
Right.
pipelines are we creating?
Correct.
What type of strategic partnerships we have in place? Because often, the logic I disagree with is that our community lacks resources. We have a lot of resources. It's just folks need to do their due diligence and really develop the pipeline so that youth could take advantage of a lot. Yes, we are missing a lot. Yes, we could strengthen a lot, but what we got, we could start working on it and make sure we take full advantage of it. So thank you so much, Patrick, for taking time. I would like to make it more formal.
Yes.
So I look forward to potentially, if you send me an email. I know Jana's looking to send us more people around park offerings and what's happening within the various different parks, the partnerships that are happening in these parks, and the ways that we could connect young people. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page and we're not having fragmented efforts where I work with you and then something else with her. I see how we could bring it all together and maximize the potential of this.
Absolutely, and I'm super super excited, and I thank you so much. So yes, I'll put my email in the chat.
Okay.
So I'll send both my personal and my parks email. So please feel free to reach out to both. And yes, I love to keep this going because we just opened up right now. This week is the very first week of the fall session. So the week is from September 8th all the way until October 25th. So that's 7 weeks. We have a 7-week program until we start again in December.
We have two questions. 1, 2.
Hi, Patrick. Thank you so much for being here. My name is
Yes.
Darlene. Can you describe a little bit the process of young adult being part of the program?
Absolutely. So yes, the great part of having the young adults ages, of course, right, 18 to 24, they're also free. So that's more of the morning or morning, early afternoon workshops. So the young adult workshops are from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. Then from 2 to 3, of course, there's a lunch break. And then 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. is ages 6 through 17. 6 to 17 is the after school, and in the early afternoon is young adult, slash adult. But young adult is early afternoon or early morning, 11 a.m. to again 2 o'clock, and then again the young people coming from 3 to 6.
Do they register online, or is that directly through you?
Oh no, right. So basically, yes. Essentially, it is a drop-in program, which is good. So right, it's not necessarily like a waiting list or we're full, we're maxing capacity. Absolutely not. Unfortunately, both fortunately, but unfortunately, yes, we kind of lost a partnership, or I believe Parks was a contract with one of the after-school organizations, which kind of affected our numbers. So right now, yes, is the perfect time to totally recalibrate and create new bridges.
Perfect.
Thank you.
This is Anise from Youth Build. Are you partnering with adult education for adult ed GED classes?
Yes, I would like to. Yes, I would totally like to, because at the same time with the center that I'm in now, yes, I've been trying to reach out and figure out which GED courses are in range of hybrid. So I mean, whether it's 1 mile, 2 mile, even 5 miles, but at least a good enough range for people to be able to go to your program. Of course, ultimately, yes, their GED program, but get supplemental skill sets, especially entering the workforce with Parks Department, and I also offer that as well.
Yeah, I definitely want to touch base on that, and we can connect offline.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Yes, absolutely.
So we'll definitely have a conversation, Patrick, and Will and Jana, so that we can all be on the same page.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much. Yes, and here is my email right now. So I'm sending in the chat. So the first, yes,
Yeah,
is my
got it.
personal, and my second is my parks.
All right, got it. Thank you so much, Patrick.
Thank you. Thank you
Look
guys so
forward
much.
to having you here, hopefully within a month or two.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, definitely look forward.
All right.
Thank you so much, guys.
All right, any more questions before we move on? All right, so next up, we have our budget rankings. That's something that I have to email to you all. I just didn't want to make the first meeting too overwhelming. The budget rankings is a lot. So as board members, what you'll be able to see is a document with over 100+ items from the different committees. Something that I'm really pushing for personally is let the other committees do 20 items. We want to focus on one strong capital item and one strong the I forgot the name for the other one. I know it's one is capital.
Is it expense?
Expense, yeah. One is more like expense and the other one's capital. The difference is I think it's $250,000 plus and under 249. So one is meant more for usually historically we've done expenses more programming, capital more like, hey, we need this application that's going to cost millions of dollars, and this is what it is. So the biggest thing for us is the biggest area of concern that where every time I talk to principals and folks working within the school infrastructure is the problem with school construction authority, which is there's millions of dollars meant to improve our buildings, and it's taking years for that to happen. Who do we hold accountable? Who do we email? We don't have none of that information. So for us, when we look at something that we could directly advocate and is going to bring millions of dollars and alleviate a lot of what we see in these buildings immediately is that. You know what I'm saying? Like once we have a tracker, once we can hold people accountable, like, hey, millions of dollars was designated 6 years ago. How come these projects haven't still been in the process of procurement and getting it done? You know, so that's something I'm proposing. But again, it's all about what we all want to do. And then as far as expenses, focusing heavily on areas that folks feel passionate about and identifying some key areas where it's easier for us to advocate for 2, 3 items than for 15. That's just something to think about. You know, we've been reducing it over the years, but I think we're at a point right now where none of our items have gotten any budget allotment. We need to hyper focus on one and start drilling that one on both capital and expenses. Any questions?
I do.
Didn't.
So, and I do like the idea of having a tracker or the city or whoever needs to build the tracker so we can see where the money is going. But the issue that I see with that is, okay, now we know where the money is. How do we hold those who are accountable? How do we enforce accountability? Because knowing where the money is and still not being able to create some kind of mechanism that make them to actually do or continue moving the money onto the project is done, then it leaves us still with nothing.
Yeah, like for me, it's always been like I'm probably like the person that's been on the board here the longest at this point, right?
Yes, you are.
It's crazy to say, right? I started in 2015, 2016, straight out of college. And for me, this was a zoo. You know what I'm saying? You got everybody fighting each other. I'm like, damn, I thought I was coming to a community space. We all wanted to see. You see, there's people pulling for that side, there's people pulling for the other side. So, for me, it's always been about what creates the first step, and then we worry
Okay.
about the second step, right? Right now, what I've gotten to experience on the other side of the like seeing, working with these principals, working with these schools is, you get $1 million for a lab in your school, you got a $5 million project in your auditorium, you got a $6 million project in your gym, right? This person gets a science lab, they get it done, but y'all been on the waiting list for like 7 years at this point. So who do we hold accountable, right? What I'm proposing is if we have a tracker, we have somebody who will be bombarding with emails, we have somebody we could invite to meetings, right? Because part of it is not just telling us is also putting, similar to that caseworker model, is who's gonna be responsible for this portfolio item? And who do we contact to follow up? None of that happens now. Now is you wait for this person from Brooklyn to hit you up, and good luck if they respond. You know what I'm trying to say? So as opposed to an entire agency thing, it's like, let's start synthesizing the process so we could at least start identifying where we are in the process. Oh, the city hasn't allotted the money. Okay, let's contact the city. Resolution for the city. Oh, this person is in the procurement process. Yeah, that means the money has already been released to the agency. So now we need to start going after the city. You know what I'm saying? So for me, the biggest thing is help us really align our vision with where it really is, as opposed to giving us the runaround how these agencies are accustomed to do. That's why. And why I say this project, because that's where the most money in the district is right now. There's nothing that holds more money than the school construction authority. Nothing in this district, nothing in the Board of Education that does that. Hey,
Is SEA the only entity or?
yes, that's the other thing too. They're the only ones that anything you see in a school, it's a process initiated by the school construction authority. Everything goes through them. So that's like, people talk about the DOE, but that's a behemoth agency as well. You know?
They don't have the capacity to subcontract, do they?
Everybody in the city is going to tell you they don't have the capacity to do anything, right? It's always about money. And then you're like, Jesus Christ, you got $7 billion. Give me $7 billion. I could run a country probably.
So I have a question, is there any role that you see for either the controller's office?
Well, technically, the way it works is, right, part of the process is once the city has allotted the money, agency to agency is a little bit different. Agency to third party requires that's where the comptroller comes in and requires their certification before it's released to the third party outside the city. What I have to personally, and we should all do that, is educate ourselves in agency to agencies, because it's easier to move money like that. That's why they prefer to send it to the SCA than to a union to start doing it. You know what I'm saying? Because now you're talking about involving a third party.
I have a question. Why would this be a budgetary item as opposed to, let's say, like a resolution that pushes the council or something to act to ensure that there's accountability with the SCA?
That's a great question. Honestly, it could be both. You know what I'm saying? It could be both a resolution and a budgetary item. Because it's like at this point, from conversations I have with several principals, and I'm gonna start inviting some of them to speak about their experiences. It's like, you know how long you gotta take for you to do right by your kids when the funds are already there. Now, one thing is if you tell me, oh, I gotta look for it, but it's already there. What's taking so long, right? Especially, you know, we have to understand what type of community we come from. You know what I'm saying? We have to understand marginalized communities. We have to understand communities that have historically been deprived of certain resources. Why does it take so long? We're a priority for everything except the nice new things. When it comes to the nice new things, oh, the list. Yeah, priority for everything else. Policing, this, that. But when it comes to the nice new things that the funding is there, we usually get the short end of the stick. So while I don't disagree with you, we could also put a resolution advocating for how could the development of a better transparent process for the usage of funds, because now we're talking about the usage, not the providing them, it's the usage now, it's the usage now.
Then to that point, and that's a great question, Anthony, thank you so much. So if we go for the RESO road instead of budget allocation, that means that we potentially could focus on a different item to spend the money.
Yeah, pero if you think about it though, we could do a reso referring it to the tracker. referring it to like, hey, we
As
would,
a way to make it a stronger case.
for our
We
budget.
can
I guess.
also talk to Miss Carmen De La Rosa, who is our
Yeah.
city councilwoman. I also want to say we have to be mindful to our folks that are here virtually. We have someone in the audience that had their hand up for a while. A lot of times we start having conversations while we're in person and forget that we also have the community on here virtually. So please be mindful of that fact as well. That would be great. But as far as putting pressure, I advocate all the time for us to demand that our elected officials are here to talk to us about things like education and things like how can they push on their end to make the SCA move faster. It's really what the chair is saying is very on point. I'm talking about, I've had to advocate for, just the foam to be changed on our in the recess area, in the playground area, that took a year because they're, trying to get the lowest bidder, to do the project. And meanwhile, children that are on a schedule, children that are used to going outside at a certain time cannot use their playground because something as simple as, the phone being replaced on their playground takes up to a year. So that means that those children don't get to go on that playground for a year. So one of my suggestions when we talk about city council, I say we start with our city council member first, get her thoughts, see what she's thinking about for this budget season. We are also in new budget season, which means we will be advocating for money for education in our city and state budgets. And keep in mind that we have the threat of the federal government. So one of the other things, Chair, I think we need to advocate for this year is making sure that our state and city government budgets cover any loss that we get from the federal government, because we can. Our state budget this year was $254 billion if we're talking about the state, and $119 billion if we're talking about the city. Thank you. And somebody has their hand up in the audience.
Appreciate you, T. GB, you have a question?
Hi there. My name is Gabriela Beal. I'm born and bred Inwood, Latina, Dominican. I wanted to bring up the fact that there was $2 million in the City Council's fiscal budget, 2026 budget, for Sunday services at New York Public Library branches. Inwood had Sunday service in 2023. We no longer have Sunday service. We're densely populated. Eric Dinowitz, who's a council member in Kingsbridge, was able to get his library branch open on Sundays. Why can't we do the same? We're densely populated. Between Dyckman and 218th Street, I can give you around 12 names of 12 schools that are in the area. Why are we not open on Sundays? When we were open on Sundays, you had kids doing their homework, teens, all ages. You had parents bringing their little kids to read in the open sections. And you also had, I remember seeing some kids who were getting additional classes and learning in case they had any learning issues. They were getting that supplemental help, and that was the space where they were getting it. So I think that we're being shortchanged. We need to push either via a resolution to create a resolution and just present this to the city council and to NYPL and tell them, hey, you have 174 affordable apartments that you had built there. You made a really big deal about putting in affordable housing above our library, got rid of the old library, and yet you cannot give us Sunday service at our local library? Ridiculous. How many schools surround that local library? We have IS 52. We have, I forgot the name of the other public school. There's so many public schools that surround that library, and who is advocating for us? We need to push for this. This is ridiculous. I've gone to the Kingsbridge Library. It's beautiful. It's lovely. but they don't have the population density and the needs. Honestly, I'm biased, of course, but the needs that our neighborhood has. I mean, we need to have our local electeds to advocate for us. This is really, I think, an oversight, and it's not good for our community.
Thank you so much. Just as a to-do, next month I'll be inviting the head librarian over there. So we could learn a bit more about how could like the budget shortcomings, because Tanisha raised it. It would have been much worse if it would have just what the current mayor proposed would have gone through.
Robin Hood Foundation gave, I mean, there was $90 million in public funding given for that development. There were very big names that were attached to that development. Hit up those people and tell them that we want them to weigh in on why we don't have Sunday service. If they were there to push for that development, if our local electeds made a big deal about making that development there, there's a pre-K program there. Let's be hyper local about this. Push the people, the decision makers, push the people with the monies. This is ridiculous. I'm so frustrated. And you made a point earlier, we don't get the nice, shiny things. We get them, and yet we don't get the full effect of it. We should not be begging for Sunday service when we had it in 2023. We have all of these people living there. This is ridiculous. And it's not, let's just have the local librarian. Sure, invite her, fine. NYPL, tell Mr. Marks he needs to get his act together and also get the CFO, the Chief Financial Officer, who said that that library, the new library, was her personal pet project. Reach out to her and tell her we want Sunday service. And
Thank you, Gabrielle. Thank you so much for your comments. I want to remind everyone to be respectful here. So while we will do everything that we can, we need to all be respectful to each other. Thank you for bringing the issue to us, and we will definitely look into it, and we look forward to seeing you back at our meeting next month. Chair.
Next month, we'll have a response for you, right? Okay, as you can see, people are passionate and like I said, right, they'll give us the nice thing, but it comes with a ticker. So it's our responsibility to make sure that we get the full end of the stick and not the short. Anything else?
There's a question in the chat from Carlos.
I don't see Carlos's hand up.
But that's why I'm here to help you, Chair. He's
Thank you, Donna.
asking, can you also partner with airlines and engine manufacturers to train our youth to service aircraft that is an urgent need and shortage of support staff?
I think that was more for our youth build. Yeah.
Every couple of years, a new funding announcement comes out and youth build programs are able to submit a new application for funding. And that includes us doing some research on market or industry needs. That is a really good suggestion, and it's something that I'll definitely look into when we're considering the new funding announcement. Thank you, Carlos.
All right, I know we have, we're going through old business now. I know you have an announcement.
Sure, thank you. So my name is Al Curlins, and I've been a community resident and a youth organizer up in the Heights since 1986, where I cut my teeth at the elementary school just down the block doing after-school programming. So in my more recent iteration, I spent 22 years working with the Police Athletic League, and part of that time was working with youth civics and youth employment programs for high school age students. So fairly recently, there was a push in the New York State Legislature, spearheaded by Brad Hoyman Siegel, who has been the state senator but will now be the Manhattan Borough president, and co-sponsored by Robert Carroll, who's an assemblyman from Brooklyn, to amend the New York State Constitution for the purposes of lowering the voting age for local elections. I'm talking about city elections and state elections from age 18 to 16. So I have a handout here. We've spent the better part of the last 2 years soliciting resolutions of support from community boards. Community Board 12 was the first board to vote and come on board with that. They approved the resolution by a vote of 33 in favor and 3 opposed. Which kind of shocked me. I thought, we'd be doing great if we got a 2-1 margin. But what I found as I went around the city to the Bronx and to Brooklyn and Queens is the vote was not quite as powerful as Board 12, but very strongly in favor of doing something. The sentiment is changing. There used to be a lot of prejudice, exercised towards teenagers and all the negative stereotypes. But what I found as I got around to the different boroughs is there's been a shift in consciousness and also a shift in understanding. If you really discuss the issue, rationally in terms of justice and team capability, it's easier to shed people from neutrality or skepticism to seeing the point. And the other issue is, well, people say, oh, can it really work? Can 16-year-olds actually exercise the right to vote responsibly, and will they actually come out and vote? So there are 11 cities in Maryland. There's Brattleboro, Vermont, and most recently there was a referendum passed in Newark, New Jersey, but to have 16 and 17-year-olds vote just for school board elections. And what they found is, yes, young people will come out and vote. Yes, people come out at that age and they vote responsibly. Because once they're given the responsibility, then they feel they have to learn what it's about. It's not a question of like trivial pursuit, something abstract, but something that actually affects their lives. And in Albany, not Albany, New York, but Albany, California, they actually voted to lower the voting age, for their city council elections.
Well,
So what we found is we've got the support of community boards, we've got the support of borough presidents. We've got the support of, the Children's Defense Fund and youth advocate agencies. What we don't have is young people themselves that are doing the advocacy, for the campaign, which exists in cities all over the country, but not in New York. So that's going to be our push in September and October, because we've gotten agreements from 2 council people, Sean Abreu, the city council person on the lower side of the Heights, and also Gail Brewer, represents the west side, of sponsoring a resolution in the city council to try to push the state legislature to act more quickly. Seems to be a common theme of tonight, moving the inert and turning it into action.
But what I find interesting, right? Like this just past primary showcased how much young people early voted and how now that's being attacked for the fact that so many young people early voted. So my biggest thing is like, you got a society right now where 16-year-olds are probably smarter than 40-year-olds. You know what I'm saying? Because of the access to information that they have. I'm not trying to generalize that all of them have the maturity. You know what I'm saying? But it always seems to be a problem when the status quo feels that they're going to be attacked by a voting bloc that they can't control. And the reason why we're in such a good situation that we're in right now, regardless of who you feel your mayor is this upcoming November, is we have a 33-year-old candidate. You have somebody who's been a historic elected official, and young people voted for a younger candidate. You know what I'm saying? So we voted because as a youth advocate, as somebody who specializes in youth development, at the end of the day, the conversations I have with some of these kids are much more intellectually inclined than I do with some adults that holds very good positions, right? So yes, we'll always support that.
Right.
As long as if you could get arrested for doing something illegal, you should be able to vote too.
Right.
I always say that. If you could lock me up, I could vote.
Yeah.
So
You're
at the
arrested for breaking the law, but you can't.
exactly
Right.
that I choose not to vote, that's something that you choose to do, right? But I hate this notion of, oh, young people don't vote, this and that. Well, because
Didn't have a reason to vote.
so something to think about, but I think we were the first board and the 3 people who voted against it were pretty archaic, So I hear you, man. Just keep pushing. Let's keep evolving and let's keep growing. And that involves
And also people that know young people, and it doesn't have to be high school students. At my age, when I talk about young.
you know who you should talk
I'm
to?
talking to you.
Traffic and trans.
That's really sad.
Noemi Diaz, which was one of our committee members, just became assistant vice chair for traffic and transportation. She does a lot of great work with youth advocacy, leadership development. So she's a great person to talk to. And yours truly, OT, you quiet. Tanisha's always pushing for people to vote.
And Tanisha's a powerhouse when it comes to.
Come on, man. If you didn't go to Tanisha's block party, man, you don't know. And if you don't listen, you go listen, right, T?
So I have my contact information. If you got a packet, I got a few left. And if you contact me, then I'll also work with the committee.
For sure.
Pushing.
For sure. We already did our part.
Well, I'm talking like it's publicizing the possibility of having young people take over from me. I want to be a guide on the side, not a stage on the stage.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. All right, any other announcements? All right, with that being said, so we understand next month, just look out for the emails. And the only difference was I got confused because I'm like, our meetings are always at 6:30. So Tanisha's like, Domingo, where are you? I'm like, yo, but the office sent me 7. So for next month it's 6:30. I'll get it corrected because I sent 7 too. Because I'm like, what she sent on the new member orientation was the second Thursday, 7 p.m. So just know that our meetings are at 6:30 and we're gonna go back to 6:30. Okay, this month I didn't want to change it too much because I hadn't given you the month prior notice, but it was just I don't know where we got to 7, but our meetings are at 6:30.
Right.
All right. With that, can I get a motion to adjourn? Crystal.
Wait. I have new business. So next month, I've invited Racial Justice Public Schools to come do an presentation for us. Matt Gonzalez is gonna do it. He is a member of the district. And Racial Justice Public Schools is a coalition of advocates for education, students, parents, educators, etc. And they have a roadmap that they want support on to, push the next mayor. The mayor speaks a lot about hiring and leaning on lived experience experts, and that would be us. Okay, and I have to say, Domingo, I'm going to be the hardest critic.
He got to deliver.
I'm going to be the let me come on cam for this. I'm going to be the hardest critic ever when it comes to the things that our community deserve and have not gotten before all of us were born. Okay. Yes. So, we want to bring this organization on of a plethora of people who have been in the community and who have advocated for education through the last 3 mayors, to hear this roadmap and the things that they are pushing our mayor to do. The mayor has all the power when it comes to education because he has mayoral control. So I would like to put on the agenda that we will be advocating this year for the incoming administration to really do things. We're talking about foundation aid formula, to push the state.
The revision of it, right?
That's because it's just messed up. And the way that they revised it, our schools will now get less money We're talking about fair and equitable schools. We're talking about access to, children who want to get in specialized high schools. Why they all can't be specialized high schools. We're talking about community schools, which is wraparound services for the whole community. We don't have enough of those in our community. Wraparound services for the whole family. We're talking about dentist office, eyeglasses, healthcare, pantries. Some schools have washer and dryers.
Right.
It's a thing, right? So they will be coming next month to give us a presentation, and I'm very excited about that. And down the line, we will have Class Size Matter come and give us an update on what's going on. We're 2
This is
years
the final
away
year,
from the
right?
deadline.
Is this the final year too?
Yeah, something like
This is
that.
the final year for small. So basically it's a law. So a law was passed. We
2021.
got educated on it last year around the current law of I think it's like 18 per class. I think it is. So like downsizing classes so students can learn. So it's not
Different
anymore.
sizes. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
different size classes for, K through 6, middle school and high school. Our classes are oversized, and that means that every student is not getting the individual attention that they need. I'm very happy to hear about the new NEST program because it's something that we really be talking about. Autism in our children is going up, and most parents who have children who are autistic in our district have to bust their children out of the district. So that is something that we will still be, okay, we got one, like Chair said, now come with the rest. So we will be having conversations on how the budget works, because it's important for us who are going to be on a youth and education committee to know how these things work and know how our voice and our power and our resolutions really do make a difference. So I'm looking forward to getting everybody I know here.
We were
So
putting a
forward to
resolution per
presentations.
month, right?
Bring
T?
a
It
little
was-
book for your note taking, because you're going to learn some things being on this committee.
Yeah, so for the first time in a while, our committee was literally passing a resolution per month. So the members could tell you, like how the Nest and Horizon program came to be was a mother came talking about how she had to school her kid out of the district because these offerings weren't here. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So one of the things is, how do we go from hearing the issue to actually contributing to problem solving? You know what I'm saying? So that's just some background around that. So we got racial justice for public schools coming next month. So we gotta add that to the agenda. And then if members, you have anything y'all want to add, feel free to email. We try to make sure that, because we understand everybody works, that we don't exceed an hour and a half. I always say a meeting that goes beyond an hour and a half, nothing was really done. You know what I'm saying? We could submerge ourselves in information if that's what we're gonna look for, but when we're action planning, I think the more we are specific and get to it, the more things we can get done. All right? I want to welcome the new members. There were shifts, Crystal. So now they send you with Noemi to traffic and transportation, because the committee's looking for. So one thing about this committee is we train leaders. So Noemi went to be assistant vice chair of traffic and transportation, and then they took another one from us because they needed to reinforce the committee. So just know that this committee develops, like once we started putting out one resolution a month, they started breaking us up. You heard? Just saying. You know what I'm saying? We got new members, but we're a powerhouse.
Can we have the new members introduce themselves? That would be great.
Yes. That's why I love T, because I
That's why we're a team, honey. Y'all gonna learn that too. We're a team, okay? I wasn't going nowhere.
Sure. So I'm Stefan De Jesus. I am a new member to
Stefan.
CB12. Nice to meet you all. I'm good to be here. I'm probably the youngest member on the committee. I'm 25. So
I was there once, Stephanie.
We all were.
Hey, we're gonna prepare you for when you
So
start having
that's
kids.
probably why they put me here, but I'm happy to be here. I'm the son of lifelong, or not lifelong, but career-long public school teachers.
Mhm.
And I'm looking forward to contributing to the committee.
How long have you been in the neighborhood, Stefan?
So I was born here, but I was raised in Miami, unfortunately. I came back for college, so I've been living in the city for 7 years consistently these past 7 years, and then half my life in the city because, moving from there to Florida back.
I was in Miami.
Welcome to the
guys. I lived in Miami for 4
committee.
years.
Thank you.
We love you, young people. So, because I'm tired.
Welcome, welcome.
You're training the next generation, baby.
My name is Diogenes, so Diogenes, whichever one you prefer, but I prefer to be called D. I actually was brought over by Domingo, who kept putting in our ears when we would go to meetings like join the community board. I'm actually glad I finally went along with it. So I definitely wanted to be part of youth and education because I've been able to start a nonprofit program here in the community. So it was important for me to know what's going on in the community when it comes to education and finding ways to make things more accessible for our families. So hearing about, I know our first meeting we learned about the NEST program and how it got started is because a parent came to the meeting. So no committee would take it as serious to try to push something along, but knew it was something I wanted to be a part of. I'm not as young as Stefan. Yesterday, yeah. I don't know if that's considered young or not. I'm glad to be part of it.
Yeah. What's the name of
Oh, sports and health in the city.
Yeah.
What do you
We
do?
want all socials.
Thank you. Yeah, we're on social media. So we're we're taking a holistic approach to, health, right? Whether it can be mental health, physical health, financial health. So it's pretty much just an enrichment program where sports and athleticism and academic meets. I think sometimes we have an issue where sports program kind of shun education, education shun sports, and in the society we live in, especially in America with universities, colleges, they have to meet in the middle somewhere. So they're just trying to find a way to have the children motivate themselves, understanding that school is important. Do understand that. I know there's a common theme of now where we say school is not for everyone, but I think we just got to find a way to find something these children like. So just bringing in different partner programs, always giving the kids a chance to try different things. So eventually when it's time for them to make a choice, they hey, I tried, there was a barbershop program that came in, I tried to do it, I couldn't cut hair, they brought in a tattoo program, I like art, this is something I want to do. So things when it's, I think we mentioned it earlier, where it's time for them to do something later on in life, they have the knowledge, the prior knowledge to it.
What age demographics do you serve?
So we start in elementary schools as early as I want to say first and second grade, and then we kind of cap when they graduate high school, but we've kind of spent now with the whole push of MWB organizations where we kind of have like a private side now, which is more for our college grads. And we've been able to now, we've been doing this for a while, so we've been able to employ some of our college students to work directly in the schools. And as of last year, started as of this year as well, we have 3 of our staff that are employed by the DOE, which is good for us to see. Where they came in to work with us, and the principals trusted us and like their work on their own. 2 are school aides. One is the supervisor of school aides, and one of the young ladies that started the program with me back in 2017 just got hired to be a teacher this year. So kind of work we're doing now.
The pipeline is working.
Yeah, trying. And I definitely got to give a lot of appreciation to Domingo. He's been doing it for a while, and he's always been major support. And I'm glad. I've always known of the community board. I'm born and raised in Inwood, but it was just something. I don't want to say I would say more nervous to join and never thought about it. And when I saw somebody that looked like me, came from the same place as me, doing really well and changing the community, I knew it was about that time. So thank you, Domingo.
Yeah, no, but it was just also like Dee does a lot of great work. So my biggest thing is the community board has to be composed of individuals who are doing the work, not theorizing about the work. Because a lot of when I came here at 25, right, that you saw was, and not to be ageist or hold a lot of retired individuals talking to me about what's going on now. And I'm like, that's not what's happening now. You know what I'm trying to say? So having individuals like having individuals like Stephan, Crystal, our union's own, you know what I'm saying? Because what people don't understand is we got somebody in the committee who has been part of the CLC, you know what I'm saying? And understands the union rhetoric, the union lingo. So for individuals who don't want to do that, Darcy's gonna be like, yo, you're bullshitting me right now, pardon the French, you know what I'm saying? And then you got Tanisha, fierce advocate. If you don't know T, you're not outside. I'll tell you that right now. If y'all haven't gone to her block party, y'all don't know what about.
Googleable.
So what we were trying to push was like, and that's why people keep and Crystal, for instance, Crystal does a lot of stuff with do churches, after school stuff, right? You know what I'm saying? Girl Scout. So you got individuals who are to the point where we're being poached now. Like next thing you know, the committee gets restructured. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, but it's true, right? Because traffic and transportation, for instance, one of the top committees. We got 2 members from our committee that was like, yo, damn, dog, like, you know what I'm saying? One went for vice chair, and then Crystal's probably gonna be chair soon. You know what I'm saying? So don't fall in love with a committee. Be passionate what you're passionate about, and just be ready. Like, I came to you for education, and I didn't want to. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I was happy in Parks, but it was just like, this is important too. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody here brings like lived experience, expertise, experience. Don't shy away from it. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like our community board is in such a good place to advocate for. So I'm gonna go back to D, right? D, I saw him everywhere. I'm like, yo, D, you're at the level at this point that you should be in the community board, getting direct access to everything that's coming in. So why I'm seeing D in every single meeting. Like, these are positions that you don't gatekeep. It's how do I see somebody who has, but yo, pull up, bro. We need you here. Cause trust me, we definitely do. Cause while we have, I don't believe in good intentions, while we're very strategic, organized, goal oriented, and know where we want to go, a lot of people want to go a different route. And we got to make sure we get like-minded individuals to come and stand up for the community. You know what I'm saying? So this is all it is. Today was a brief meeting. Next month we get back to work. They already gave us a mandate on, what was it, T? They were like, yo, you gotta do Sunday services. We're gonna have a resolution ready for Sunday services next month. We got you. You know what I'm saying? And this is what it's about. You know what I'm saying? We had a mother that came about, I'm tired of busing my kid to the Bronx because there's no Nest and Horizon programs. We do that. That's what we're here to do. Be able to bridge that and make sure we advocate and take it to these institutions while they have good intentions. We're going in there with a goal, and that's give us what we want. You know what I'm saying? So I look forward to everybody keep coming. Everybody apply, join. If you got any questions, these are all powerhouses here. So feel free to join, like talk to the members. And can I get a motion? Well,
Motion.
No, it's motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Seconds.
Thank you to the community who came on too. Please keep coming.
Yeah.
Tell your friends to come, your parents to come.
It's the second Thursday, but remember, we meet at 6:30. So today we had a little hiccup because of some office difficulty, but we're going back to our 6:30 meetings. All right. T. All right.
See y'all.
Hold on.
Y'all be safe.
Any abstentions? Anybody opposed?